Look in my eyes for my mind state. I'm on the grind 25-8. Money on my mind, that's how I play. If you got it now, this what I say. Hold up, hold up, hold up, wait. Hold up, hold up, hold up, wait.
What is going on, world? Welcome to season 2. Look at these. Season 2. Season 2.
Season 2.
And Swerve City
And look how
Podcast.
far we've come, guys. Look how far we've come.
We've come so far.
Look, we couldn't even get this thing started, and then boy, everybody's doing
already. You gotta put yourself in this reel.
Yo.
Nope.
Hey, fam, you know this is going on the trailer, right?
Look at my
Which system is your favorite to play? No.
It's so hard for me to pick a favorite because I love them all so much. The Xbox One was my first system that I actually bought. So I've casually played video games my whole life. Yeah. Like my first memory ever in my entire life was watching my dad play Road Rash on the Sega Genesis. And I've always been around games, but I kind of casually played them my whole life. Whereas I was the one who was super obsessed with wrestling and my brother was the one who was obsessed with video games. Mm-hmm. But just until like 2015 is when I got obsessed and super into them. So Xbox was the first one that I played or that I bought. But I love my PS4. I love my Switch. The Switch is so great for the road.
Yeah, it's for the
I've still not played on the Switch yet.
Oh, it's the best. It changes
awesome.
road life.
That's
so
Splatoon and that, Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
It gets you in there.
Yeah, it's great.
At some point, I'm going to get a Vanguard. At some point.
Yeah. That thing is so worth it.
Oh, yeah.
That's so worth it. That's awesome.
The game case.
Yeah, it has that
with a screen in it, and you can
fancy
just plug your Xbox in the wall at the hotel.
You worked
It's
at a
awesome.
GameStop. You should know this.
Right.
They do have the backpack
They called it a
one, too.
gym's.
Really?
I think so. I feel like that would be more convenient.
They have the backpack one too.
They do have those.
They
Okay.
do have
Yeah,
those.
I feel like that would be super convenient.
Yeah.
I gotta really think about that.
I think they got like a
I gotta think how many
22
things are not
display,
going to get done if I have that.
You're right.
Yeah. I'm like, I can get done tomorrow at 4 a.m. Yeah.
So many times that's happened to me on the road where I'll get to the hotel early and I'm like, oh, this is awesome. I'll get 8 hours of sleep if I go to bed right now. Let me play a little bit of Nintendo Switch. And then it ends up being 4 hours that night because I'm up playing Super Mario Maker 2,
like
trying to get this level.
I've had to ban Cedric taking stuff. So I'm like, no. Like he bought this little mini projector, and it's just like, no, you will never get any sleep because you're just gonna be on your Xbox One or your PlayStation.
Mine is the gym. I always try to squeeze my gym time. I'm like, if I play a little bit of this, I got an hour and 30 at the gym.
Right.
Now it's like, okay, we're at 45 minutes left of the gym time. I'm like,
let's go.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
Then I'm like, 3 sets. All right, I'm back. That's all I get left in.
That's true. But yeah, that's my number one hobby for sure. Like anytime I'm not wrestling or not on the road, I'm playing every day that I'm home. It's just such a, like I'll even with Britt, because she has to be up so early for work at her dentist job. And I'll go and we'll lay together before she falls asleep. And then when she falls asleep, I get out of bed and go up and game till 2 a.m.
My man.
Every night.
I'll put you to sleep, babe. But however, I'm out of here.
Yep.
Very striking Vipers line.
That's my routine.
Love 90s. Love the 90s.
So
Why can't I just go back to being in the 90s?
I know. Every time I put on Sabrina the Teenage Witch, I just go into myself like, oh.
So do you like the new version or you just like Melissa Joan Hart version?
I watch both.
Okay, do you like the chillin'?
I like the new version.
The new version is
I'm looking at it like, well.
I like me too.
The Chillin' Adventures of Sabrina. It's on Netflix.
Yeah.
Oh, that one. Yeah.
Don't do that.
I mean, she ain't no Clarissa Explains It All or nothing like that.
Oh, come on. Ain't nobody know Clarissa Explains It All.
Hey, Swerve.
I'm just saying, that whole block, Clarissa Explains It All, Pete.
They banging the table side. I'm
not banging no table side. Look, shut up. Stop
snitching.
Don't make me have to take somebody belt.
I'm sorry. I'm right.
Pete, are you afraid of the dark? Look,
I love how you're afraid of the dark.
Ain't nobody touching that block. Goosebumps. Ain't nobody touching that.
Wild and crazy kids, bud.
Look, listen.
Hey, dude.
They do all that. Look. Suit your shorts. Bug was it not was it Camp Bug Life? What is it called?
Keenan and Kel.
Keenan and
Guts. That's
Kel.
what Keenan and
Shout out to
Kel.
Coolio for one of the dopest theme songs of all time.
I do.
Hey, let me get that one more again. Let me get that one more time for you.
I do.
Yes.
It's not the full quote, but it'll do.
Yeah, y'all
Keenan
can't wait
and
till
Kel.
y'all need to see that today. But anyway.
There you go again.
What is going on?
Not side. That's right.
What is happening?
You get in the studio. I'm not hearing nothing else, dog.
Yo,
You over here?
That's Nikki energy.
You throw another verse out here. You throw another verse out here,
Yes.
and we gonna put you on the track.
This Nikki energy is really transferred over here.
Yeah.
This never happened.
This never happened.
Season 3, episode 20. This is the first time. This is the most this man's ever
Right.
spoken. It's true. What did you do this, man?
He know all the themes.
Yeah, now we want to rap.
Right.
Like, hey, Mike, we need
Speaking of
3
good
songs from your
themes.
playlist for the month.
Buffy had a great theme.
What's the great theme?
Buffy had a great theme. Buffy the Vampire
I don't
Slayer.
remember that one. No, I remember the show,
The
but it's not the
look of
theme.
disgust that she gave you is inspiring.
Lord have mercy.
I watched the show. I just don't know the theme. God forbid.
Listen, don't worry, I've got you covered.
Oh.
Oh, yo, you gonna get us monetized?
I've got you covered.
No, Nikki, no. Yo, nigga, you gotta get we're on YouTube.
Oh!
We'll put a link in the
Put a link in the script.
I'm gonna do the rest of the show down here. Anyway, we still on TZ, right?
Yeah.
No, you still on the table.
So, tell me some of your
Yeah. Favorite 90s.
Yeah.
I got you.
Okay, thank
I
you,
got
bro.
you. What are your favorite 90s song? Give us.
Spice Girls?
Oh, hell
Come
yeah.
on, Spice Girls.
yeah,
Spice Girls.
yeah.
If you want to be my lover,
You gotta get with
You can
my
change it to Nikki, so you want to be my Nikki.
Yeah.
Oh, remix, huh?
You gotta get with my Nikki. That's the way it is. Like, me and Damo have this thing where we
The bop
change.
in her is
So-
impeccable.
So me and Damo have this thing where I have this thing and Damo has to play along with it. Is we take like lyrics of songs and we just change all the words to Nikki. So like Genie in a bottle. It's Nikki in a bottle. You gotta rub Nikki the right way.
Good.
Like,
Give me some more.
so the one we were doing today was I love you, Nikki. And if it's quite alright, I need you, Nikki. To warm the lonely night, so pretty Nikki. And yeah.
Yo.
So that's what So my husband's in the next room. I feel really bad for him. He has to put up with a lot.
Put up with a lot of.
Yes, but with a
lot of Nikki.
A lot of Nikki. A whole lot of Nikki.
A whole lot of Nikki.
A whole lot of Nikki.
A whole lot of Nikki.
Oh, Nikki, you so fine. You so
I like
fine,
that
you blow my
one.
mind.
You blow my
Hey,
mind.
Nikki. Hey, Nikki.
I got the opportunity to do Download Fest in the UK.
Oh yeah, you talked about that.
And it was a big rock and metal festival, but it also NXT set up a ring.
I'm so jealous.
and we had our tent, and we had matches, but it was really funny. I would wrestle, get changed, and then run to see bands. With the guys and people I'm friends with, and I had a ball because that was 2 loves of mine that I get to do at the same time. And then I got hanging out and meeting other certain performers, and it was just neat. That was one of my favorite ones to do. So I like festivals.
The thing is, though, like going to festivals and shows, hip hop shows, any kind of show of any genre, I've always find that it's always the most fun to go to their shows, not when they're like at the very bottom or at their peak, when they're like right there.
Oh,
Yeah.
this is
Like,
awesome because I've seen so many bands that were there, and now they're just huge.
Yeah.
But
You can't see them like easy.
They're in
as
that
you used
zone. The performances, they're not like at the peak, like when like their first album blows up, but they're not like at the very bottom either.
Right.
It's like
Yeah.
you can see it hitting that groove. They come a couple times a year. Each show gets better, and you feel like you grow as a person.
Yeah.
Absolutely, I agree with
bunch
you.
of them like that.
Yeah.
Like I saw Mario before that second album hit.
Oh!
And I was like, he was dancing. He was getting it.
I never
He was
thought he was
getting
that
it.
good of a dancer.
He was getting it.
I saw him
Whatever them
last
girls
year.
was
He
doing,
ain't
getting it.
danced since Let Me Love You, if you think about it. I said, because when Mario said touch, he said, ooh.
I saw him last year, and when the backup dancer's getting you,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'm like, yo, this homie back there is getting it.
He's like, I want to know when everybody, the other guys is over there getting it. He's like,
Yeah,
he's like, I'm trying to go home right now.
he
He's like,
filled up the Millie Wop and he ain't there. I'm done.
So let's take it over in the Swole's world, sis.
You stupid. Okay.
How do I nay? What? What?
Who is Nene and why am I waving to her?
What is that, velvet?
So a man goes into
do I
a
shake my hips with it? I can't figure.
Wait.
So a man goes into a
How do we
restaurant.
do it?
He sits down and he says, let me get the soup. And when he comes over and said, taste the soup. Would you just taste the soup? And I said, is it hot or is it cold? He said, would you just taste the soup? He said, okay, where's the spoon?
Pretty good.
What do you know funny, you bastard?
That boy good.
That boy good. Rockamaciata. That's the one. So I played any sport I could growing up. I wasn't good at all of them, but I really aspired and found kind of like my stride in volleyball. So through high school, I traveled for a club team. We did pretty well. And yeah, that was fun. I got to travel a lot from it, but right now, and I remember getting teased like from other coaches and stuff, like volleyball is not like a real sport. Like, you're in wrestling now. And like, at the time I was just like, where'd you get that?
The Mike, the Goat, the Hacker, the Oracle.
But yeah, that's it. Man, that takes me back.
All right.
So that year I was the only senior on that team. There was actually there were two of us. The other one was a libero. But yeah, I played front row. I could not dig in the back row. Like, I just kind of started to believe like I just belong in the front row. I love jumping and stuff. So I still jump. I just love it. That's all I got. I'm just like,
see, according to that height you was jumping,
The process of leaving.
according to that height that you were jumping
like
right there, that height that you jumping right there, you'd have been like, yeah, I scored every point. I was the best. Yep, I did it.
Yeah, you can run with that. Just run with that. I was like, oh, gee.
Definitely fun. So like the tape right there, I remember that too. I remember I misjudged the block and stuff from this other game we were in, and you're supposed to seal the net and stuff, like just kind of roof it. But I misjudged the height of this girl, how high she can jump. So the ball went like directly here. I'm like, when you hit the ball, you're supposed to be like, rah, everything you got. And she did, and it hurt. But then, yeah, I just play the next game.
My son said, yeah.
Wow.
I was a physical sport person. I had to like be contact with people. I was any sport with a stick. I was terrible at because my depth perception is bad. I'd be like, whoop, strike. Tennis, like, out.
Tennis would be fun. We got a tennis player in the room.
I'm not a tennis player.
But you
I
love
play
it.
tennis.
You're a person that plays tennis.
I play tennis for fun in the summer.
But you play tennis.
No, I've never played like.
What
properly.
have you played a game of tennis?
Yeah, everyone's
You are
played
3
tennis,
steps
so.
above everybody else.
You never played tennis?
Yeah.
With those accomplishments.
I have
Facts.
that depth
Well,
perception.
Jess and I are gonna have a tournament.
Golf.
Right?
Dude,
Don't get me started.
Yeah, I gotta buy
Just
one.
get the racket. Dude, it's on.
Yeah,
'cause,
please
like,
buy the tennis racket.
Okay.
We've asked you for months.
Are you gonna play or?
No, I'm gonna watch.
We might film it for content.
Dude, I don't know what it is like about like competition in sports, but I just feel alive. Like,
Okay. Let's do it.
See,
play.
here's the difference. You're in competition with yourself. She in competition with everything.
Everybody.
All of it.
That's that Jordan mind, boy.
Bruh.
You will not beat me at flipping these papers.
Like, you're not supposed to bang table. Flash me. So, Simone, last time you were here.
He had one rule: don't touch the table.
I just gave him a migraine in his headphones.
Oh yeah, now you're like, don't you go there.
Is there a musician that you would say that inspires your wrestling? Like a musician, like for him, he's like Travis Scott is like a big inspiration for him as far as his music. For myself, I look at wrestlers like a Bret Hart, like being technical. Like Bret Hart was a technical wrestler. I think about that as far as like lyrics for me, technical with my writing. Is there any musician that you could say relate to yourself?
Do you know Sledgehammer by Peter Gabriel?
I do not personally.
No.
The song?
No.
Damn it. All right.
I know that. I know of.
Oh, okay. You got me now. You got me now.
Good. So that song was remixed for Big Mama's House by Nas featuring Jermaine Dupri. Thank you. I had that. So I had that single. Right? And my first ever entrance music in wrestling, when I was able to pick it, was Nas featuring Jay Dupree. I've got to have it, the instrumental version.
I'm about to
and
go
it's
download some
literally
Dupree.
just like da-da-da-dum, and it has like a beat behind it and everything, and it's just awesome. And it was me and my tag team partner, used to be Swiss Money Holding. So we just come out and with that song, and still came out to it on the indies and everything. So like to me, just like every time that song comes on, which not the Nas version, because that comes on very seldom unless actually it came on a couple of times at the PC on like when they have it on like hip hop radio or something.
Where was that?
But like usually it's like the Phil Collins version, but still like that beat just goes on, and like people who knew me when I wrestled back then, they're like, hey, but like that was like the coolest, because it was like, you bought like the CDs that had like, I just bought it because they had like the instrumental versions on it, and that was like the coolest, because you can have like
deluxe version
exactly, and it's like the instrumental. So like it was like literally I played it because like back in the day you have to give like DJ, okay, this is my entrance music, the second track, don't play the first track, you know what I mean, like that kind of thing, it's like play the right track. And like so many times you're in the ring and like your opponent comes out and he's all pissed, and they're like, why? And he was like, played the wrong track, so like
then you get the one CD with the one song on it.
Yeah,
They're
exactly.
Like, no,
but they was
can't
literally
mess
like
this
that
up.
CD was so scratched up because like so many times played, like I had to. That's when finally like CD burners and stuff came out. So like, okay, this is just my entrance music here to play. But yeah, so if I could pick one song, it would probably be that song. Yeah.
I feel like a lot of people say this, but I seen 8 Mile at a very young age, and I liked that movie. I always liked it.
Precious.
It's always been a good one. That's a great one. I can still watch it. I can watch
cool
it.
with me, bro.
The way this interview was going, I figured 8 Mile would be that answer.
We can't go one whole episode without Eminem coming up. So
really,
it was going.
You know what? I'm gonna be honest. When you guys were asking me songs, I was like, I'm gonna just stay away from the Eminem, because I feel like everybody would say that. But 8 Mile, dude, 8 Mile. That's a good one.
Yeah, man, all you gotta do is watch them rap battles, and it just
that's
it
it.
does something to you, bro.
It
It's
really
like,
does.
yes.
There we go.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh, there it is.
Just gets the juices flowing watching that movie.
Hopefully he's
Shout out to Wink.
Rest in peace, Brittany.
Hopefully he's still working on the ET poster with me on it. We still got that on the bike.
That's like last.
Matter of fact, these are the best exhibit bars ever.
You gonna leave him alone? I ain't listening to that. Next topic. I ain't listening to that.
You got to pimp your ride.
Those might be the best exhibit bars.
Nope. So give me your favorite artist right now and why. Give me your favorites. Who are some people you're bumping when you in the car? Cause you got car music.
I rode with this fool many times. I know what he's bumping.
So you have car music. You got music when you're out in the house cleaning.
Yeah.
Who are your go-tos?
Well, like I was saying, man, like when I'm doing like a real intense like leg workout, I really like listening to R&B, and that usually consists of Miguel. Miguel's usually my go-to for R&B.
What you know about that, Miguel? Boy, what you know about that?
He does a mean split,
a leg drop.
I don't know what that's about, but
I'm like Mike.
What's that?
Ain't no way.
There you go.
Take it away, Mike.
That's crazy because Montez Ford said something similar when we interviewed him. He's like he liked to listen to R&B and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Too, remember?
Yeah.
During a workout.
I remember that's what.
Yeah.
I remember that you were like you made a joke. You were like, I can't do squats
to Genuine Pony.
Oh, jeez. Not that. That's not R&B.
Every time he goes, yep, you need to take a. Oh man.
What R&B artist?
Definitely Miguel.
Miguel
That's the top. Keith Sweat is there. He's definitely there. Yeah.
Oh, you were born past like
No, but he's there.
1995.
Yeah, he's been on the
You got some
Spotify.
game, bro. You got some game.
Dude, he's on there.
You listen to Keith Sweat. You got some on there. You know how to talk to the ladies. You listen to Keith Sweat.
You know, he wants to attempt. You know, so
This is Austin Theory, baby.
They call, you don't wonder why they call me.
I don't mind. She had the nerve to take her shoes off in my house too. Like,
I don't like wearing shoes. I hate shoes. I
See,
walk
I
walk around barefoot everywhere, and I've never gotten any athlete's foot or worms, whatever it is people are scared of.
She said bacteria.
Now, what if you ran into a dude that says like that bothers another dude?
Oh, no,
wait,
okay.
okay. I do that.
No.
It's getting real. Man. Shoes on the other foot.
No.
Or is it?
Literally, it isn't.
No, there's on no feet. I think it's very nice for a man to like give his woman a nice foot massage after a long day.
I am down for that.
And I wear heels all
yeah.
day. I dated a guy like for a while who like refused to let my feet even like if this is the couch, he's sitting here, my feet would like he wouldn't even have to be close. I'm like that's a little like rude, but that's just how he. But that's also just how he was with feet. But I knew that wouldn't work out because I need my foot massages, and I return them. It's not like a one-way thing. But you can't be grossed out by feet.
Yeah, he'll film feet.
Now I don't want some weird. No, there's a line. Okay, there's a line.
He has
I
to
don't-
accept your feet.
I'm not. If I put my feet on you, you rub them. Don't come seeking them out. If I'm, you know.
Yo, come home from work, honey. Where's the feet?
Yo.
Where the feet? I brought your shoes again.
Shout out to the dude. Whoever that dude's out there that passes this rule book she has. Whoever this dude is, you are the
The
goat.
day
I'ma
that
shake
I
your
have
hand,
a
brother.
boyfriend, yeah,
Bro,
you'll have to bring him on this.
This
on
book
the
thicker
show.
than the bro code from How I Met Your Mother.
She gonna come back and the boyfriend gonna be in that seat like, yes, honey. No, honey. Yes.
Yo, somebody's taking notes when this pops. When this pops up, too. Somebody's like, "So no feet, cheesecake, okay. Yeah, stay with." Like, oh, I can laugh at that. No.
And
I
then,
can't laugh.
then he's gonna have
Too
everything
much.
right. He's gonna ask her on the date. She'll say yes, and he'll mess up. He'll be like, "She'll have a Sprite, please." I don't like Sprite. Oh
No, I know it's gonna be like that SpongeBob episode. He's the perfect waiter, but what's your name? Name. What's his name?
And then my last one was Tyler Breeze. And I was like, you know what? I've always been about wrestling. Like, I love wrestling. Like, don't ever put a microphone in front of my face because I just want to wrestle. And that's it. Like, if you ever put a microphone in front of my face, it'd be horrible. Like, no personality. Like, I'm giving 100%. Like, whatever. This sucks. So I just went, let's go the complete opposite. Let's go, like, I've helped these people at tryouts who come in and they're models or they're actors or whatever. And they just go, like, I can wrestle. Wrestling's easy. And they get words wrong and they get names wrong and they do all this stuff wrong. And I said, I'll just be one of them. Like, I won't wrestle at all. I'll go the complete opposite and then add in a little bit of Zoolander to it of just like, I'm a male model who has no clue how to wrestle. Like, I never have intention of having a match ever. So the initial, I know Woods has it. He's going to put it out at some point. But the video, the initial pitch of me doing the Zoolander stuff had, like, we had to keep cutting because we were both laughing. And we both just looked at each other and I said, this one's too good. There's no way they'll ever want this one. And so we sent him in. Dusty, I think, was the only one who got back to me, and he goes, I don't know about the other ones, but Tyler Breeze, there might be something here. And I went, no way. Like, this is the one that we're like, there's no way they're going with. He said, we'll try out some promos, see what you think. So I started cutting these promos, and I started getting really comfortable as, like, not wrestling at all. Like, just being a guy who, like, I came in, and I think at the time I talked really, like, I had this really soft voice, too. So I was like, hi, I'm Tyler Breeze. And I'd do this thing, and I had this little 8x10 that was, like, this real, like, goofy looking thing. It was Zoolander's hell. But I kept getting, like, all these, like, words wrong and stuff. Like, I'd be like, oh, man, I'm looking for a friend team partner, and, like, all this stuff. Yeah. Like, but all this stuff. But so as I'm doing it, which I'm kind of a goofy dude anyway, but I'm like, having fun with it. And then everybody's laughing at me, and I'm going like, all right, this might be like good. Like, I'm comfortable being this dude, and I'm comfortable making people laugh. I can do this. So I kind of just keep going, and all of a sudden, like, I'm getting like really in the groove of like what this is. So then all of a sudden, I was told, and I don't know if you guys were told this, but when I first got there, I was told you have to be able to make your ideas their ideas. And I said, I don't know what that means. Like, how am I supposed to get someone to think what I'm thinking? Like, how does that work? Well, so I end up like pitching things, and then all of a sudden my own ideas are getting pitched back to me, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. Like, that's exactly what I told you. So, like, what? This is ridiculous. But so all of a sudden, like, it was like, all right, hey, we're going to go with this Tyler Breeze thing. Like, do you have gear? And I said, yeah, I got, like, gear over here. And he goes, all right, like, do you want to, we'll switch your name and everything? I said, yep. I said, you got music? Yeah, we'll find music. And I had, like, a match. And I think for, like, 3 or 4 matches, I just wrestled Mojo. And I did nothing. I came out with a mirror at the time. The mirror was the first thing. And I came out with a mirror, and I'd just, like, stare at myself. And then we'd have, like, I'd do nothing. And the crowd would boo the hell out of me up until, like, I don't know, I think I'd beat him up or something, and then we'd kind of just do a little 5-minute match. Like, it was nothing. And basically what was told to me was, like, just because you know all these moves and how to wrestle, doesn't mean you have to do any of them. I said, okay. So all I did really was, like, punch and kick, and then I'd do, like, a finish, which was my spin kick, I think, and that was it. And so I was like, okay, like, I'm kind of figuring out how to do this, but I don't fully know how to be Tyler Breeze yet.
Yeah.
And we kind of just kept messing around with it, and all of a sudden it was like, all right, we're going to do this at NXT, like, we're going to debut it. And immediately, like, Hunter kind of saw. So that was the longest story ever, by the way, to get to why I do a phone.
This is your interview, man.
Take
but
it, bro.
so
That's
I
fascinating.
have a mirror, and I'm coming out doing the stuff with the mirror, and Triple H is the one who goes, I don't know, man. The mirror feels like 80s, like it feels like it's been done. He goes, aren't like selfies a big thing right now?
That's him.
And I go,
that's exactly how he is.
I go, yeah. And he goes, let's do that. He goes, have a phone instead. And I said, okay. And he said, just take your selfies and whatever. And I said, okay, cool. So if you watch, like, my first match is Tyler Breeze, there's nothing on the Tron or anything. It's just me with the phone, and they got the phone, and I'm taking 1 million selfies. Which, also, I'm using one of the guys' phones in the back, one of the office guys. I think it was Billy Gunn, maybe. And they're calling me as I'm making my entrance, as I'm debuting on NXT. And I have to keep declining the call. I was like, guys, like, what are you doing? Like, you're purposely, like, messing with me here as I'm, like, my career's in the balance for the 12th time. And so I ended up, it was Hunter's idea to use the phone. And then I think the next week or a couple weeks after that, the tech guys who were awesome, they were like, hey, we can actually stream that up to the Tron. And, like, do you want to do that? I said, yeah, why not? So, like, we did that. And then all of a sudden it just kind of snowballed. And it was like, you know, what I was doing was ridiculous, but the people at Full Sail, they kind of gave a life of its own to it. And then all of a sudden it was like, very quickly, I think they didn't fully turn me babyface, but the crowd turned me babyface to where it was like, I think I had a match with Sammy or something, and they were like, yep, like, we like this guy, and he's entertaining and everything else, and they just kind of, like, got fully into my stuff, and they've never, like, given up on me, which is cool.
Freaking beautiful.
Yeah.
Now, I heard from sources that Montez plays a mean piano as one of his secret talents.
Oh.
Yeah, sir.
I can play a tune.
I haven't quite organized how I'm going to get this outlet, the electricity volts to get to the piano yet.
We're going to make it work.
We're going to figure it out. We're going to figure it out.
We adapt and overcome.
Yes, I want to know what you're getting.
Do that top one. No, that one right there. The bottom one is the light.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Casey.
I only know but like one song, so we gonna hear this.
Yeah, bro.
Play some Phil Collins. That's my boy.
My daughter was messing with it, so it's all messed up.
I only know one song. What's this? Oh, okay, I got function on here.
Okay, we got volume.
Oh, I thought you was about to play.
A mess.
A whole mess. Y'all are a fool, man. I'm just trying. Oh, I don't need that. I just wanted to make it right.
Oh, that's it.
I'm about to say,
yeah, I played the boom, 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 boom.
Oh, you ain't no good, man. That's funny. All right, here we go. Hey, hey, hey.
singing, bro.
Christmas music, y'all.
Oh man.
Oh.
That was precious.
Oh, there's more.
No, I'm sorry.
I was about to say, some people want it all.
Right.
You heard this man's story. You in here right now, and now you in here. I want y'all to understand that this man has gone through so much, his ups and downs, his trials and tribulations, and he's dreamed beyond what he set his goals to be. You can do the same too.
Buzz Lightyear.
Do not limit yourself.
Mm-hmm.
The whole point of Swerve City Podcast is about building confidence. Mm-hmm. And we invite all these people every episode, every guest that has told their story where they hit their lows, where they struggled, where they didn't believe that they would be somewhere that they are now, and where they're going to be years from now. Because they keep pushing forward and they keep pushing through those walls.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you need to do. And if there's something you could, like the last thing that you could tell the viewers at home, like as far as like inspiration, words of wisdom, confidence,
like,
man.
Literally just that, you know. There's a lot of people that will tell you that you can't, and it's not it's not always because like they don't believe in you. It's because they don't believe in themselves. They can never see themselves doing what it is that you're doing. You know, coming up, I got involved with amateur wrestling, thinking that it was like WWE wrestling, and I would tell everybody in the school that I was going to be a WWE superstar. I had to gain weight to get to 100 pounds my freshman year to wrestle at 103. You know, and everyone's like, "Well, you're too small. You know, you're not 6'5". You're not gonna. There's no way you could do it." And had I listened to them, I wouldn't be here. You know what I'm saying? So, but I believed in myself, and I just kept on pushing no matter what. And I tell people all the time, like, you know, there's a stereotypical path that you're supposed to follow. You're supposed to go to high school, you know, graduate high school, go to college, graduate college, and then start working your way up a corporate ladder in some corporation, and then work towards retirement. Cool, if that's what you want to do. You know, if people like the certainty of that is great. You know what's going to happen tomorrow. You're going to come into your cubicle job, and if you like that, that's great. For me, didn't work, you know. I could have kept on going on that path that was not satisfying, not fulfilling, you know, or do what I chose to do was roll the dice and give my dream a chance, you know. And I'd say, you know, you hear the term, like, follow your dreams. To me, it's chase your dreams aggressively. You know what I mean? Like, you want it. You know what I'm saying? If you saw something that you want, you wouldn't just be walking after it. You would be trying to, at the very least, power walk towards it. Sprint. If you really want it, you try to get it, you know? So that's the path that I chose. And all the people that told me that I was too small and all the people that told me that I wasn't going to make it are now asking me for autographs for their children. So, and it's not something where I'm like, well, you see, I told you so, because that's not what it was all about. It was about me wanting to accomplish something that I wanted to do, you know? And if I didn't follow my dreams, if I didn't chase my dreams aggressively, I wouldn't be here. So believe in yourself no matter what, with all the negativity that people are trying to, you know, project onto you. You got to find a way to just like tune it out and focus, you know, like have that laser focus towards what it is that you want to do and just go do it, you know? And the very least, if it doesn't work out, at least you know that you went all out and you tried to get what you wanted, you know, and then you fall back and you can do whatever it is that you were going to do before. But the other flip side of the coin is if it does work out, it's the best thing in the world. Like this, for me, it's almost criminal to call it work. You know what I'm saying? Like, what?
Yeah.
I'm going to work? What? Like, you know what I'm saying?
All the
like,
people who said wrestling wasn't going to pan out, wrestling wasn't going to do nothing, guess what? The
Yeah.
checks is clearing.
They clear
House.
Yeah.
House.
Right.
House.
Like my bills are current. Like
roof.
Ahead.
You see it?
like I'm
you
good.
see it? So yeah, just, you know, you just have to find a way to believe in yourself. And it's obviously easier said than done. But if you need motivation, look to anybody on a WWE roster, you know, look to anybody here, look to anybody who has made it. Everybody has a story. Everybody's story is unique, but they're all the same in the sense that they had to fight to get to where they want. And they had to take those steps and be brave enough to think outside the box and do something that's outside the box, you know? The rewards, it's great. It is amazing. I get to travel the world, you know, meet so many great people, you know what I mean? Like do things like this, have interviews. Like, come on, man. Like this is life.
This is life, you know.
This is life.
This is how life is supposed to be lived, you know. I got a graphic on Swerve City Podcast. Look, and thank you for using like a.
He used good pictures.
There's always like smiley pictures and like Kofi Kingston, you know. You got some aggressive looking pictures. You know,
that's how we attack
you
life.
see it?
Mike the
That's
God.
me.
Mike the GOAT.
Mike the GOAT.
Mike the GOAT.
That's it right there. You got.
Y'all gonna have to exchange
You got me looking
information.
frolic. I'm not playing around.
Let's go, champ.
I'm not playing around.
Let's go,
You
champ.
know? Yeah.
Y'all gonna have to exchange informations up in here,
It's
man.
not always about the smile, okay? There's some aggression.
Look at that, look at that.
Looking up. You see it? I'm gonna imitate it right now.
Look at that. Zoom, go closer in on that.
You see it. You see it.
Woo, boy.
It starts with the eye.
Get him.
You look up.
Y'all ain't
Get
ready.
him.
And then you let the chin follow.
Get him.
Ruthless aggression.
You see it. Yeah.